So I hang up on her, I call you, and just I get off the phone with you, the fucking broad calls me back. She's like, listen, I just want you to buy me some beer. I'm like, no, you're 17, I'm in the Army, fuck off and die. You lose my number, fuck off and fuck off. So she's like, well, you're a fucking prick, blah, 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 and hangs up. I go to Senior Frogs, and I get a phone call from the K-girl. She goes, well, I'm here out in front of Senior Frogs, and I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't see any fat chicks, you know, fucking figure fat, fucking massive, nasty. I look over, and there's this 90-pound, smoking hot Japanese girl. And she's like, oh, and she comes walking up, she's like, oh, Jason. I'm like, damn, you know, she's like, is there something wrong? I says, no, I said, you're the first human that looks good, you know, so she's like, well, let's go eat some lunch and we'll talk. And so we go to that, what is that Poorhouse or the place that's like the brewery down the street from Senior Frogs. It's like some big brewery.
Yeah.
They got the huge tables and shit in there, like Viking fucking tables or whatever. I go down, I sit down and eat lunch with her. So she's divorced for 3 years, got a 4-year-old kid, looking for a guy to actually have a relationship with, and she said she's tried to Craigslist 2-3 times and she thought I was cute, so she wanted to come hang out. And I said, oh, cool. I said, you know, you want to go do something tonight? She's like, well, I already made plans with my family tonight. I said, what about tomorrow? She's like, well, I got, you know, I got my kid for the weekend. My parents are flying out from Japan, you know, so I'm pretty much fucking busy this week. And I said, I sent that ad like a week ago. She goes, yeah, I just saw it today on my email, so I figured I'd hit you up. I'm like, oh, fuck, you know, so, all right, so I bought her lunch, walk out, and I says, listen, can I call you again? She says, yeah, fucking, you know, and I told her, I said, I'm going to be in California for the next 6 weeks, but when I get back, I said, I want to come back and, you know, love you a long time. And she's like, fucking starts giggling. She's like, well, I've never heard that one before, you know? I'm like, you fucking
someone never watched Full Metal
Someone's
Jacket.
never seen TV, you know? So, I'm thinking, okay, so I start walking down the road, and fucking Kermit the fucking Puerto Rican calls me back.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, listen up.
I thought you were going to say you saw her on the street or some shit.
No, she says, no. She's got a voice like that, and she talks like that, and she's from L.A. And she calls me up, and she's like, you can come stay at my house. I watch my 90-year-old grandma, and the house is kind of a mess, but she says, you know, if you don't mind sitting in a bedroom that's got like 60 fucking marijuana plants growing in it, you can come over and hang out, and we'll fuck again. She's like, I really like your penis. I was like, well, that's great. You know, I said, but I'll be honest with you. I said, I fucked you for like 4 hours last night and 4 hours this morning. I said, I couldn't get off. So I said, if I show up, the first thing you're going to do is suck me fucking dry. You know, I don't give a shit if you want to swallow it or what. You're going to put it on your face, your tits. I don't give a fuck. You know, jerk me off if you fucking have to. I said, I'm not fucking wasting any more time with something like, I said, it's been 5 years and I still haven't dumped a load other than being in the shower by myself. So she's like, well, yeah, I'll come and get you. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, I got to find out if I'm on staff duty or not. So I called you, or sent you a message and said, hey. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out of here. I get 10 feet away from the tree in the park, and I get the phone call from the fucking stupid 17-year-old. She's like, listen, if my friend and I say, well, fuck you, will you buy us booze and put us up in a hotel for the night? I'm like, well, how old's your friend? Well, she's 18. I'm like, okay. What part of no did you not understand? You're 17, she's 18. You want me to buy you guys beer and get you drunk in a hotel? Can't do it. So she's like, well, you're a fucking prick and a loser because you're 30 years old and you're only an E3 in the Army, you fucking piece of shit. And I was like, okay, well, you fuck off and have a good night. She's like, you can't tell me to fuck off. My dad's a major. I'm like, boop. Fuck that shit. So, there's my story of my shitty fucking weekend. Fuck off.
And that goes on the
no
list.
No vagina.
The list.
The list. The hall of shame. The wall
Still a lot
of
to
shame.